Hey, what is going on, everybody? I'm just going to do a walkthrough of how to fix the TLC Taxi data Parquet files. They were CSV up until earlier this year, but when they went to Parquet format, there are some issues with those. So we'll just go to Google and look for TLC Taxi. And 2019, I believe these are bad, so they're good ones to go with. And we'll just make a directory for the taxi data and change to taxi data. And in Bash, we can do this with a nice one-liner. We can just do for I in, and we need the leading 0 because that's the way it's going to be in the URL. And to substitute the variable I, we'll just use $. And since it's going to run 12 times, the 13, it's not inclusive, we can use the and symbol, and that should work. And it looks like we got some log files there, so we can just remove those. And we can see they're all kind of different sizes here, so I'm pretty sure we got some good data. Now, the next thing we're going to want to do to inspect these is to get them into Google Cloud. So I'm going to go ahead and go to GCP. And make a new bucket for it. There we go. And I'll just call this demo taxi bucket. Multi-region is okay, standard is good. And create. Now that we have that, we can just copy the URI here. And I already have GSUtils set up. You could manually import these by uploading files, but I'm just going to -M speeds that up. And I'll just do star.parquet. I think this is the order they go into. Okay, and those are uploading. We're gonna give that probably about 10 minutes. It does take quite a bit of time even with the -M flag. And we'll come back and start going through what's wrong with the files and how we can fix those. Okay, now that that finally finished, that was about 20 minutes actually. They should be here. Double check. All right. So we're going to go ahead and grab the URI again and head on over to BigQuery. And let's see. I know I have a saved query here because I always forget how to create the external table. I'm just going to do, it doesn't really matter, create or replace external table, the project I'm in. Don't need to worry about the prefect test. I was doing something else with that. And I'll just call this taxi data 2019. And this is actually in Parquet format. Not found in US location. That slash need to be the other way. Nope. Well, let's see if it runs anyway. Might need to create the data set. And tip, if you go with multi-region, I think EU has it. I'm not sure if Asia has it. You'll be okay, just because sometimes certain regions can't communicate with other regions and you run into issues there. So now when we run this, that should work. Input is not in Parquet format. And I don't know if it does it sequentially, so let me just go back to the bucket and I'm going to open another tab just so I'm not jumping back and forth. And we were doing demo taxi, and we're just going to go ahead and delete that one. Okay, let's see if it works now. Not in Parquet format. All right, we'll give this one more shot and then we'll switch to debugging that locally. So I guess it's reading them from the bottom up. All right, so it doesn't like any of those files. So let's go ahead and look at it with Pandas. I'll make this a IPython notebook, and we'll import PyArrow. Import PyArrow compute and import pandas as PD. Go ahead and run that, and first we'll just grab the first file, so that'll be the January data. Okay, so we have 19 columns and 7,696,000 and some rows. All right, so now let's take a look at the December data, because that was one of the ones giving us an issue. And that reads in fine as well. So let's look here. And that all seems good. Well, since it looks good, we can go ahead and just try to rewrite the Parquet files and see if that fixes it. And we can just see if we can do this manually. I always forget if... Okay, that is not inclusive. I always forget if it is or not. I should be able to do an F string, and I believe that's the format. And we can just copy that. And we do need the read Parquet. And grab this part. Add a double quote. And we can just do something like fixed yellow trip data. I think that should work. And while that's running, we'll head back over to the bucket and we can get rid of the bad files, which is all of them. Looks like I forgot a W. Well, that's okay, I suppose. So, good old GS util again. We're sending it to this bucket. And this will probably take another 20 minutes. Probably give us an ETA here in a moment. Okay. Looks like for some reason it's going to take longer than the last round, but we'll let that run. Take a break, grab a coffee, whatever suits your fancy, and we'll pick this back up as soon as that finishes. Okay, that is finally done. That took about 30 or 40 minutes. So we're going to head back over to BigQuery. The bucket should still be good. Our fixed yellow without the W files are there. And we'll just run that. All right. So now we should be good. And we can just check how many we have. let's see, 8,459,000 or 84 million. So that seems about right. We can take a quick look at the data. And we'll just look at the first 10 rows. And it looks like we're good now. Okay, I thought these might turn into floats. It looks like they are integers. I was looking for a quick place to check that. But it looks like it was just written malformed somehow, but it was able to be read, rewritten, and then put into BigQuery. Now, when I actually started this video, I meant to grab the FHV data because that's a little bit more messed up and takes a little bit more massaging to get it just right. But I'll leave this here, and hopefully that'll help some of you out there and get you going when you run into that error.